A blessed day to you, and today's benefit is faithful or failing servants. Luke 12 verse 35 and 41 to 43 New Living Translation. Be dressed for service and keep your lamps burning. Peter asked, Lord, is that illustration just for us or for everyone? And the Lord replied, a faithful, sensible servant is one to whom the master can give the responsibility of managing his other household servants and feeding them. If the master returns and finds that the servant has done a good job, there will be a reward. The passage where our text today was extracted was a series of parables by our Lord Jesus Christ. At a point, he was talking of his second coming and the readiness that was expected of the disciples. Peter then asked if the parable was a message to everyone, after which Jesus explained the parable. What I'm impressed to draw our attention to today was when Jesus said a faithful and sensible servant will be the one whom the master comes and finds him or her doing what was assigned as his or her responsibilities. But first, I want to look at the responsibility mentioned here: managing his other household servants and feeding them. Can we pause and ask ourselves this question? Are you aware that you were given a responsibility that the master is coming to hold you accountable for? Because it is one thing to know what you are to do, and it is another thing to do it as stipulated. In a situation where you don't know what to do or the terms involved as your responsibility, then you are likely to think you have a free day and do whatever you like. But the risky part here is that either you know what to do or not, you will still be accountable. Jesus said in verses 47 to 48 of the same chapter, NLT, and the servant who knows what the master wants but isn't prepared and doesn't carry out those instructions will be severely punished. But someone who does not know and then does something wrong will be punished only lightly. When someone has been given much, much will be required in return. And when someone has been entrusted with much, even more will be required. Accountability to responsibility is inevitable at the end of our sojourning on earth. It is therefore imperative for us to know what the master asked us to do. If it is a situation that you'll be excused for not knowing, it would have been better. But either you know or not, you will be accountable. It is on these notes I am challenging you to be sure of what your responsibilities are. Are you keeping up to them or failing in your responsibilities? One other thing that is worthy to note is that our responsibility involves service unto others. The analogy Jesus gave was that the servant was to take care of other servants in the household. This recalls the statement in the letter of Paul to the Galatian church in chapter 6 verses 9 and 10 NLT. So, let's not get tired of doing what is good. At just the right time, we will reap a harvest of blessings if we don't give up. Therefore, whenever we have the opportunity, we should do good to everyone, especially to those in the family of faith. Managing other household servants will be inclusive of doing good unto others, especially those of the household of faith, like Paul related here. In doing this, Jesus said in our text, be dressed for service and keep your lamps burning. What will this mean to you? To be dressed for service is to be equipped as a servant, ready to work, and your lamp burning is to have the required spiritual energy to handle your responsibility. Are you lagging on this? That will mean a failing servant. You may want to ask the master to help you retain oil in your lamp for the service committed into your hand. Remember, there is a day for accountability. So Lord, please help us to see the necessity and urgency of the task you have committed into our hands, and let us be found faithful in it. Amen. Thanks, and enjoy today's benefits.